Hello, every person. Hopefully everybody can hear me, but I'm gonna go ahead and cause some echo here real quick. Properly give the stream a... So, looks like everything is audible. That's good. So, we're gonna go ahead and begin the game. Game is loud. So, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure everything's good to go. We will actually be playing it here within the next 5 minutes or so. But I'm gonna make sure everything is good to go sound-wise on my end. Fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and start. Thanks everybody for coming back. We're actually going to completely start over. And that may seem like a bit of a inconvenient thing to do, but I have a very specific reason for it. And that is because, one, nobody could hear me last time. And that's not very good. And second, not only that, but also, I didn't have any footage that I could keep from last time, and furthermore, I did way too much attempting to voice over every single character that said anything. And that's not very entertaining either, I think, because we kind of just want to chill and relax and have a good time with this game. So, I may make a few different decisions this time around, but I want to just ensure that this game is a fun experience for everybody watching it. So we're going to get back into it. I only did like the first 5 days. That's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot into it. So we're going to go ahead and begin. I'm going to put some things over to my side here so for easy access. I got my drinks. I got my snacks, which are precisely the things that Valhalla recommends that you have. I've got my hide camera button, per se. So I decided to not use hotkeys for that anymore because it wasn't working. So if for any reason whatsoever the camera needs to not be on, then I'll just easy peasy. So this is the character in the TV. We don't know who she is yet. She's kind of randomly appears as well, from what I understand. She's also glitches out in her idle position a little bit, beginning to think she's not real or a hallucination or something. So, one thing to remember is that before the events of this game begin, you had just, first off, there's a few things to understand about this world. One, inflation is a motherfucker. Everything costs hundreds of dollars, and you make thousands, but it's still, like, kind of a meager wage overall. Secondly, the city is riddled with all sorts of crime, and there's, like, futuristic police flying cars and shit. Third, animals, especially dogs, now have human capabilities, like speech, intelligence, things like that. And we had literally just the weekend before this game begins, served a bar full of corgi businessmen. Corgis, dogs. And that's something that gets mentioned a few times. So, don't want to be confused about that. Don't be confused about that. Alright, so let's go. Also, I apologize if the stream does this thing every 5 or 10 seconds where it freezes frame for a second. I have done everything that I can. I can't make it stop. But you can hear me, so that's good. And the local recording of this will also survive as well. It will not actually do that. So when this goes up on YouTube later, should I decide to do so, it'll be completely watchable start to finish with none of that frame skipping nonsense. So, we just got a parcel, and also that was a dream. So, I'm gonna be constantly making sure that my stream, clicking away from the game just to make sure that my audio levels and everything are good, because I have no mods in chat right now, as far as I can tell. So I need to make sure that I'm constantly self-maintaining here. Because we poverty out here, boys. We independently run. I may now browse the augmented eye. So you get apps between days. This is the first one you start with. It is a newspaper. So Alma, she mentions Alma here. Alma is a character we meet a couple of days in who is a hacker. A good one, evidently. It helps to read all of these things, and it also helps that between days you buy stuff that Joe wants to buy, but you don't get access to the shop until like the second or third day in. So we're going to go ahead and save now, and we're going to save over all this garbage because we don't need any of it. Because we're going to be doing pretty much the same thing anyway. And go to work. This is the meat of the game. This is where the game is actually good, and most of where the action slash dialogue slash just gameplay overall takes place. John. When will you have a John face skill? Jules. Quiet. She doesn't like being called Jules very much. There's probably a reason for that, but we don't actually get to see that until later, and I haven't gotten that far yet. Also, the music in this game is very, very good. Cool. Alright. Moving forward, we're going to wallet, and I'll get evicted from this rent again. And there, all the beer cans are on my apartment, and... Jill! Sorry, did you say something? Can you really work today? Of course I can! So here's where we have the tutorial. In which Gil teaches Jill all the shit she already knows. But for the sake of the player, I'm trying to go slow enough for everybody to read, but I don't really know. I'm gonna mute Firefox and Discord as well. Alright, cool. Back to the game. Sugar Rush or a Piano Man. So Sugar Rush is the first thing you said, so that's what I'm gonna do. But, 1, 2. Oh, so there are hotkeys for this. Okay. I'm gonna give it to him with like as much alcohol as I can muster. So how do you age something in real time? That's what I want to know. So, I'm glad I found the hotkeys for this because, I'm really tired of doing the drag and drop nonsense with it. So it's a Q for Adelhyde, W for Bronson, E for Powder Delta, R for Flannerguide, and T for Karma Train. And I believe I can press A and S to do icing and aging, but I don't think I'll worry about too much about that. Doesn't wait, don't think, of course. Karma Train, yeah, Karma Train is optional in some drinks. It's the alcohol. Sometimes you want to load it the fuck down with alcohol. Wonder what else I was shopping. This is Dana. Dana's the best. She has a bionic arm. It's pretty cool. More unconscious body in here. He's going to make such a ruckus when she wakes up. You know that. That's up for you to deal with. I'll be in my office. You can't just push that responsibility onto us. We have work to do, damn it. There's two of you. Believe in yourselves. Okay. Do you think Chief knocked her out? Nah, that's unlikely. She'd be crowing about it or taunting us if that were the case. And it's not like her to peck on such a small girl. At least not unprovoked. Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to try to do voices. I'm going to read, but I'm not going to do voices because some of them straight up kill me, and I have to do something. I have to do some singing later, so. To keep it quiet, because you seem to be sleeping soundly and not comatose. Yeah. Okay then, time to start the night. Yes, I'll start working while you go clean the bathroom. Come again? While you spent the whole weekend and Monday doing God knows what, we've had some interesting clients come in. Dogs. Lots of them. You're joking. Gil, you've known me for how long now? Do I look like the kind of woman who would make a joke like that? Well, double checking my audio. Sick. Alright, awesome. So, as punishment for leaving me to deal with all of that on my lonesome, you'll be in charge of cleaning the bathrooms. Have fun. Just that? Fine, I see no problem. Where's the cleaning stuff? Here. You brought that from home, didn't you? That I did. Fine. With that out of the way, let's play some music on the new jukebox. This model needs to have all of its 12 slots filled with songs before it can start. I wonder what was the logic behind that decision. So I actually get to pick the music, and I remember liking this one a lot. I'm gonna go for some of the things in the back half of the list, because that's not what people usually do. There we go. This is a banger and a half. I'm gonna turn this up slightly, actually. Very, very, very slightly. Very slightly. I love this though. This is a good song. I'm gonna wanna pay attention to this one. It's sick. Alright. Here comes the biggest tool bag in the game. And it's good that Gil taught you how to make a big drink, because that's what this guy asks for all the time. He's a big guy. I'm gonna give him a big one immediately. See, that's something I did a little bit differently from the last one. He'll ask for a beer, and when you give it to him, he'll be fine with it, but then he'll ask for a big one later. But he's happier if you give him a big one right away. Although, to be fair, work has taken me to worse hellholes, like New Jersey 3. New Jersey 3. Huh. What kind of work do you do, mister? You're talking to Donovan D. Dawson, chief editor and owner of the Augmented Eye. Nothing gets published there without my blessings. The day started with quite the interesting fellow, it seems. So you're the one to blame for the barrage of daily articles on Alice Rabbit, then? Hey, people love those articles. They love reading about that urban legend. Can you blame them? The idea of some wild hard hacker working for their own goals and nobody else's? That's the kind of corny shit that brings the clicks from all kinds of people. And clicks bring money, and money brings nice stuff. Stuff like cars, and houses, and plastic surgery for the missus and her kids. Well, I'm not complaining about the fact that you write about the hacker, just that you write about them every single day. Some of it isn't even news, just speculations or copycats. I can't read your newspaper's daily feed without running into at least one article about Alice Rabbit. Well, first of all, I don't write about it, my interns do. The poor bastards think it'll help make them full-time employees. I'm just capitalizing on the topic while it's popular. And second, you're tired of one article about a supposed hacker, but not all the daily stories about murders and other horrors. Well, I always filter out that section. I don't want to start my day scared and bitter. I have enough pressure and problems as is. I don't need to add Glitch City's lovely citizens to the list. You're smarter than you look, kid, but if more people were like you, I'd go bankrupt from the lack of traffic. Still, maybe my job would be easier. How so? People get people get bored of a certain kind of news after seeing it repeatedly. Desensitized is what he means. When I started in this job, it only took the news of some elderly woman being killed to guarantee clicks. Now you need an elderly woman carrying a sick baby boy getting hit by a truck. That's not enough. They need a full sob story behind it. That's why I like those urban legends. They're easier to write about and you can make up any shit you want. Spam them while they're hot. And even people like you, people who avoid the murder stories, will see them. That brings money. And like I said, money's good. Huh, I guess he has a point. What about the opinion columns? Aren't those a good source of traffic too? Oh, I hate those brats. They just write about how they're better than everyone else. They might also write about how everyone that likes a certain something should be sodomized. The worst part about that is they know half our clicks come from them, so they get all diva-like on my ass. I think you're being too harsh. What about... No way, I was thinking of another newspaper. Yeah, the columnists on your page are annoying. See? The kid in the restaurant critique column, shit, forgot that Brett's name. Restaurant, I believe that's... That kid, couldn't care less about his name. Anyway, his column is the least visited of the bunch. He gets less hits than the obituaries. However, he still insists that I keep paying for his adventures to outrageous restaurants. I wouldn't have any problem with that if he actually wrote about half the places he visits. How so? He really writes about the places the newspaper sends him to. I've even heard he tries to get free meals by proclaiming that he's a food critic. Poor bastard only gets laughed at when he says that. I do remember some guy coming here asking for free drinks and saying he was a critic or whatever. Did he look like a fat child with a really small face? No. Wasn't this one then. Anyway, all this talk made me thirsty. Try to give me a beer this time, please. Coming right up. Right, another big one for you then. Here. Ah, it's the big things that make life worthwhile. What about big troubles? Did I stutter, kid? Right. So tell me, do you see many celebrities in this hellhole? Please stop referring to this place as a hellhole. If a place smells like soap and dog piss, I'm within my constitutional rights to call it a hellhole. I'm doing my best here, thank you very much, says Gillian from the other room. Who was that? Nobody important. Hey, I heard that. Don't be offended by what I say, kid. I'm insulting the building, not you. You can think of it as a small hole in hell rather than a hellish hole if you like. Charming. So, celebrities. Not really, at least not that I know of. Why? Well, to begin with, you have a serious VIP as a client, but I don't see you losing your shit. You're not making me feel special, honey. And second, because I'm always up for gossip regarding famous people. Especially the red carpet kind of famous. Those folks people pretend to love but actually want to see fall from grace. Pretend to love? Fall from grace? Why do you think that gossip about famous people always sells? People pretend that they love celebs, but what they really want is to see their idols torn down to their level. They want to see them suffer, to get their comeuppance for daring to be so much more successful than them. Nah, I think gossip is just something everyone enjoys, but no one wants to admit to enjoying. You thought wrong, but even if you were right, it wouldn't change the fact that people love that kind of stuff. They want to escape their lives by living somebody else's. Sadly, I fail to see the appeal in that whole thing. What do I care if this guy I saw in some random movie was wearing socks with sandals or if they're dating God knows who. Granted, socks with sandals is practically a public indecency, but still. Oh, please. As a bartender, I bet you have a strong voyeuristic streak. Your kind always loves to hear that stuff. Just like hairdressers. This sounds hypocritical coming from you. Even if that's the case, I don't sensationalize what people do. I don't make it more than that person you know from TV acts like a human. Sensationalize is the key word here. Just the other day, I saw this committee judge bitching over what some girl was wearing to the store. No matter what you say, these people don't exist solely to entertain the public. But the problem exists because they're the ones constantly cultivating the idea that they're perfect and untouchable. Going to exotic locales, dressing in elegant ways, indulging in every luxury they can think of. All that just leaves the public craving for those little moments when they make a mistake and fall to their level. Can't say that's a lie, but sometimes the crowd just wants to see they're human. Hey, that dude that plays a nice guy is indeed a really nice guy. To be fair, the gossip articles don't help, sensationalizing everything. It feels like they're instigating a behavior that shouldn't even be acknowledged in the first place. You like your big words, eh, brat? Well, two could play that game of... Hey, you're a bartender, right? No, I'm a lab rat hell-bent on world conquest. Sarcasm wastes my time, my money, and your energy. Refrain from using it. Anyway, I just realized that a bartender like you must have heard quite a few stories in her career. Talk about changing topics. Maybe, why? Wouldn't you like a column talking about those? I bet they would sell quite well. It would be like that priest who published confessionary stories and then got excommunicated and lynched. People usually tell me all this stuff because they know I'm just a simple bartender, a personal stranger of sorts. We could have you ghostwriting, half of our staff do that. They do. You don't really think Lana Smithy is just one person, do you? Figures. Anyway, eventually the people from the stories would know it's them and blame me. Not only would that hurt us as a business, it would hurt me. I really like hearing clients rant about their lives. Oh, and it would hurt the clients too, I guess. Oh, Jesus, okay. Well, if you ever retire, that offer is waiting for you. Yeah, like you remember me 2 weeks from now. Sure. Do you want another drink, Mr. Donovan? Mr. Donovan. Mr. Donovan. Did I say something wrong? Not at all. I just really like the sound of that. Mr. Donovan. Mr. Donovan. Is it really that special? At work, everyone calls me Mr. Dawson or Boss. Boss is just a title. It's too impersonal and cold. It is? Mr. Dawson was my father and grandfather. It's too general. But Mr. Donovan? Now that's more like it. They're referring to me, not to the man in front of them, not to my family, not to my position as boss, to me. Do you want your employees to get personal with you, Mr. Donovan? Oh gods no, but I want them to fear me. Not because I'm their boss or the name appearing in their paychecks, but rather because I strike mortal dread into them. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to make everyone call me that. Oh yeah, you were asking something. What was it? Drink. Another one. Do you? Ah, yes. You know what? The third time's the charm. Give me a beer. Alright. Okay, so I'm seeing a difference now. He asked for something else. He asked for, like, something bitter to wake him up. Yeah, last time when I gave him one regular beer and one big beer. This time I've given him 2 big beers and he's asking for a third. So this is going to be different. It's going to be different than the last time. One beer. Here's hoping I don't pass out. Cheers. Enjoy. Say, kids, if this bar have any investors, he didn't call it a hellhole. There was some bloke named Sven that wanted to give us money if we stamped his face all over the place. But aside from that, no. These bars are pretty much like any other fast food chain, so there are no local investors. Why? Just wanted to let you know how lucky you bastards are. Investors suck harder than my first wife's mouth. Oh jeez, I forgot about that line. Oh my god. This man is vulgar. Those bastards think they're so important because they put their money in the company. Well, I mean, you give me money so you can make more. Let me do my thing and I'll give you your money. But no, they have to stick their noses and start changing the silliest of stuff. What good is it to be the boss if you still have to work for someone else? You still have to answer to unions, the government, and those kind of organizations, don't you? Yeah, but that's paperwork. I make somebody else do it and call it a day. These losers ask for meetings. They start talking about stuff they don't like, stuff they found offensive, and there's always that one guy or gal that says, hey, why don't you do what that other newspaper does? Recently, they told me that they needed more clicks. More clicks! I make sure to keep stuff spicy while still keeping production quality up, but it's never enough for them. Well, you know what? They want more clicks, I'll give them more clicks. I'll show them what happens when I do what they want and don't reject ideas. They'll know who the hell Donovan D. Dawson is. Should I be worried? Nah. At least they paid before storming off. So I didn't give him a bitter drink this time. I gave him 3 gigantic beers. So that's interesting. So I might go back and re-explore that first option the next time that I play this, try to get some footage of that. But it caused a difference in what's going on here. Trying to scratch my back here, but I'm not doing very well because I no longer have a back scratcher. Alright. Sick. Alright. I wonder what happened with Sven, though. Never heard from him again. Gotta keep oneself cool. Jill! Yes? What the hell happened in that bathroom? That kind of mess usually requires you to have thumbs! Crafty dogs, I tell you. You'd think their short legs would hinder them. The ceiling, the sinks, the toilets, the vents! Shh, you wake up Brian Rose over there. I won't forget this. Yeah. Oh, a client. Welcome to Valhalla. What can I... Big gut punch. Fast. Alright. Once a gut punch, I'll give him a gut punch, alright. Ah, shit. What's that? I'm gonna load it down with as much as I can handle. Here. You can actually do it then. This crack house is a bar. Hellhole, crack house. It smells like dog urine and soap. How the hell do you expect someone to feel comfortable in here? I'm surprised you decided to come to our little crack house at all, Mr. What the hell do you care? The payment registry says... Sorry for the question then, Mr. Ingram McDougall. Sorry about the smell. We're working on fixing it. There was an incident over the weekend, but it's Tuesday. Please, let me know what I can do to make your experience more pleasant regardless. If I pay you, will you come with me to a motel for a couple of hours? No. Then I have no use for you beyond giving me drinks. Such pleasant clientele tonight. May I ask why you decided to come to our bar then? Somebody recommended me this place and I have absolutely no idea why she likes it. She's such a regular here and all. I'm starting to doubt her taste. It might have been Dorothy. And we will see why later into this game. A regular, can I ask you? No. I'll concede on one thing. Whoever picks the music at least has decent taste. Thank you! Hey Jill, where'd you put the dish soap? Gil's run out. Below the sink where it's always been. Right. Oh, a customer. Good evening, sir. Hope you enjoy your stay at Valhalla. So, any other feedback you want to provide the establishment so we can enhance your customer experience? No, nothing. That's an interesting change of heart. I can't afford to slander this place knowing she's here. You know my boss? I don't know her, but I know who she is. Dana Zane, the Red Comet. The woman who fended off small riders all by herself, knocking them out cold one by one. That's an achievement in a title I've never heard before. I know boss did quite a few things before opening this bar, but that sounds... Would you happen to know how she got her mechanical arm? I heard a couple of stories, but they sound too fantastical to be true. You've had an interesting change of attitude. I saw that woman take out armed rioters with her bare hands. Once you see something like that, it's hard not to keep your mouth shut in front of them. Interesting. You can relax, though. I've only seen her deal with clients personally about 2 or 3 times. One involved Class 5 weaponry, the other a pickup artist, and the latest had an alpaca. An alpaca? Not really an alpaca, but there's this woman that owns a textile company. She got really drunk and she started screaming that she was an alpaca. She started spitting on everything afterwards. My boss had to show her the door. I'd rather not remember that night, so let's leave it at that. Can I get you anything else? Give me a Powell Driver, please. Please? That's what I haven't heard today. Coming right up. I'll give him a big one. I might just do like all big drinks, except in cases where it's like specifically asked for me to not do that. Here. It's fine, I guess. Hey lady, have you ever faked an orgasm? I forgot about this conversation. I'm sorry, I think I heard wrong. I asked if you've ever faked an orgasm. That's a question I'm not gonna answer. I'll take that as a yes. I was just thinking about how good a lie can be. I mean, even the most sincere people lie once in a while. One sec. Alright. Lies can buy you time, lies can make you happy. Reality will come crashing through the door eventually, but for that moment, a lie can give meaning to you. Making sure stream is going fine. I say lies are more like your porn stash. You know they exist, but you shouldn't acknowledge them. Does that mean you've really faked orgasms? Because you look like you have a lot of experience. Still, that's quite the random thought to just suddenly have. Are you perhaps lying about something right now? Oh, excuse me. Not really, I was just thinking about people making polite comments about this crack house. Oh god. Of course you were. Hey, I'm gonna need another drink here. Already? Don't you think you're drinking a bit quickly? That's my problem, not yours. Give me a fringe weaver. Alright. He's getting a big one. Try not to drink it too fast. That's up to me. Hey lady, have you ever felt empty? Empty how? Like hungry? No, I mean empty like there's a part of you missing. Can't say I particularly have. I just feel that there's this part of myself that lacks something. An urge to get or do something that I just can't satisfy. Have you tried taking up a hobby? It might not solve your problems, but it might at least keep you busy enough to avoid thinking about it. Any suggestions? Well, collecting stuff, reading, bungee jumping, combat sports, exercising. Sounds a lot cheaper than the alternative, which is bitches and alcohol. I tried sex tourism once. It was like a bloody Russian roulette of STDs, so I left midway through. I once burned my Christmas bonus hiring 3 women for an orgy. Porn is more amusing and way cheaper. I've also hired a gal to act like my daughter for a day 3 years in a row now. Nothing seems to do it. Have you tried rescuing a puppy? You can't fuck puppies. At least you shouldn't. I mean, he's not wrong. I'm drawing a blank then. Can't think of anything that might help. I wasn't expecting you to help me, or to believe me. Eh? I could have been lying through my teeth this whole time. People lie, lady. Anyway, I'm leaving now. The smell is killing me. Please come again. Don't count on it. Good. Boss, I'm going to take my break. Alright. So if Jill's taking her break, I'm taking mine. Time to stretch. Oh boy.